como tu pet my chihuahua.
Hello everybody, my name is Raydio. We are here at Tacolicious in Shanghai, China, and I am joined by one of the great pillars of Shanghai, DJ BO, who's going to help me host today. He is the number 2 DJ. Hello, who have we joined with us today, Mr. Seth?
Well, we have an Asia all-star cast of some of the best Jamaican-derived musicians, cultural people around, all sitting right here in Tacolicious in Shanghai. We have Maxim Q, who is a dancehall dancer and DJ, the Guan Move. I've worked with Maxim Q a bunch of different times. She's very open and kind-hearted, and it's been really wonderful working with her. Next we have the human passport of Jakarta, a man who moves, he's small, he's compact, he floats around the islands. That's right. We have the Indonesian Prince of Ska, Denny Frust.
I wanna wait and wait for your loving. Can you tell me if I'm good enough for your loving? You know, love to go in for a moment with your love.
He's here on his very first ever mainland China tour with his band of merry men. They're like Robin Hood.
Merry man.
And he's a real prince, and we can talk about monkey boots and all of the wonderful things. He's someone who's helped out a bunch of Chinese groups as well. Next, we have someone who's very important to me. I always embarrass her by mentioning that I was a huge fan of her before we became friends. I discovered her music while I was in Malaysia. She's originally from Singapore. She grew up in Canada. She was in Los Angeles. She lived in Jamaica. She is the Far East Empress of reggae and dancehall. It is Masia Wang.
Yeah. So all of us, are from different parts of the world, and all of you guys are making music and kind of pushing the culture in the places that you currently live. I just kind of want to know, can you tell us a little bit about what has been kind of the struggles that you've faced while beginning to start your music career, and also dance career.
For me?
Let's start with Masia.
Okay, sure. Well, my music career started in Canada, really. I was studying architecture, and I started hitting open mics. I started first as a hip-hop artist, as an MC, and got to live my dreams, worked with amazing hip-hop artists that I looked up to. And then after a while, I was kind of losing my gusto, and I said, where could I go that is kind of the opposite of all this like Hollywood and mainstream and all that, where kind of fed is a really good hook. And I told myself maybe Jamaica, because when I was a kid, my brother used to play a lot of Peter Tosh, Black Uhuru, Toots and the Maytals, so I went over there, and then I went back to Southeast Asia, to Singapore, having been gone most of my life. So I think the challenge was, I was skinned and had the appearance of a Singaporean person, but I had to really take time to relearn my own culture, and also being so excited about Jamaican-inspired music, from reggae to dancehall to ska, but also realizing that, that enthusiasm can't just be shoved down people's throats. There has to be a way to share the culture that, there's a bridge in between that makes people understand why you're so passionate about it and why you love it. And I think I love dancehall, and I love, just Jamaican culture in general, because in Singapore there's a tendency to be very conservative, this conservatism, shy. I think maybe Asian culture in general. And so I love that in the dance hall, in a bashment, you can just walk out and feel good and be yourself. You can wear, a cooking pot on your head and rock like whatever you want to wear, and just say, yeah, this is me, this is my voice, this is how I look, this is my style, and feel proud of that. And for that moment, forget all of society's conservatisms and expectations and judgments. Sure. So I think that's definitely a challenge.
And you weren't just inspired by the music, you're also inspired by the food.
Yeah, absolutely.
So tell us about the suka sauce.
Speaking of challenges, I think one of the things is there's this stereotype that reggae is just Bob Marley, and Bob Marley, or this image of Bob Marley smoking. And and in Singapore, where it's really frowned upon, it was really difficult to kind of transcend that stereotype. So I wanted to show that, hey, you know, this culture is more than just Bob Marley smoking. It's also food, literature, poetry, everything. So we did it through the food. I think there's no faster way to their hearts than through their bellies first. And so we made a Jamaican-inspired jerk sauce that was grown in Southeast Asia. No preservatives, no chemicals, good for the body, good for the soul. And you know, when you're cooking, you always have good music playing and the food will taste nicer.
All right.
And Masia, beyond just her own music and her own brands and the food and stuff, she's a big ambassador. She started the Singapore Dub Club, which is having its big anniversary. And she's worked with all sorts of artists, including some duets with Denny Frust.
Yes.
So, Denny Frust, why don't you tell us a little bit about your story, your journey in the music culture? Because I know in Jakarta, right in Jakarta, there's not a lot of the kind of music the style of music that you're playing. You're kind of one of the pioneers.
Actually, if we talk about Jamaican music, maybe Indonesia is one of the biggest in Asia. Because we have like more than 1,000 bands that still active playing, and some of them still recording their own songs. So actually, because I'm a ghetto kid. You know, I live under poverty line actually. So like so I live in the street and I grew in a punk and hardcore scene. So that's why that's my roots actually. How we can connect to people, how to do the DIY things, how to do the tour and everything. So and then aside from town called Surabaya, city called Surabaya, and then I moved to Jakarta to chase my dream to become better.
And that was with Monkey Boots?
No, not yet. So I moved to Jakarta around 2008, and then live in the street, sing in a bus, sing in a busking, sing in warungs, sing everywhere. In a street, I live in the street for around more than almost 2 years. Live in the street, live in a sidewalk, sleep in the sidewalk. I'm homeless because I have nobody there. So I fight, and then I made a Monkey Boots. They don't have a singer, so I gather with Monkey Boots and then start to make music because I'm a writer also. I'm writing the lyric, I'm making music also, and then that's from that to start. Everything's getting better. So Monkey Boots released the album on 2010. And then release album again on 2015, and so everything's getting better. I can earn a living from that, and then I can rent my own house. I can feed my kids, so feed my family. So after that, on 2016, I come out from Monkey Boots and do a solo till now.
What was the inspiration for you to decide to jump from the kind of established band to your own
actually
solo
it's about a dream actually. I moved from Surabaya to Jakarta to chase my dream actually. I don't want to see only Surabaya, or I don't want to see, if I go to Jakarta, I want to grow my music, and I don't want to see only Jakarta. I want to see whole Indonesia. And then after Indonesia, I can Monkey Boots still can provide it, but outside you cannot because it's a band. Bands need a forum. You must talk to everyone. We want to go outside. We must talk each other first. Okay, we're gonna do tour here. If 2% or 2 members cannot, it not happen. So that's why I must come out. So I must chase my dream. I don't want to see only Indonesia. I want to see outside.
I understand. Well, how about the band you're working with now?
Still. They're still playing. They're still hitting the stage. They still have a good schedule. So it's nice.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay, great. Go ahead.
Talk about the struggles of Jamaica, of getting into dancehall and reggae in Shanghai.
Yeah. First, sorry for my sexy voice because I just shout is not my party.
That's actually a sexy voice.
Yeah,
It's
sultry.
just Jamaican style.
That's a dirty voice.
Yeah, I'm a hip hop dancer first. Then I listen to the DJ Cool Hawk. And then and from him I know about the reggae music. And then I just search for some information online. What the fuck is this dancehall music so crazy about? And then I found dancehall dancers have an own dancing style. So I go to London, special dancing style first. After that, for my challenge in Shanghai, I promote dancehall dance because Shanghai tempo, even China, the tempo is so quick. Every guys prefer to learn some commercial dance,
Okay.
some K-pop, or they can learn some 30 seconds routine to post on the Instagrams of the moments, right?
Just
So
like
yeah,
this.
they want to learn the dance hall, and then they come to my class. After that, they said that's not my ones. It's not my ones. They don't take their times to learn some groove, foundations, and culture. Yes, it's not easy, but I think if you want to do something good, you must respect culture.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
dedicate time to learn. And like you said, there's a very big difference between the commercial 30-second TikTok Douyin videos versus like learning a full routine.
Yes.
So I imagine it's a lot difficult for your students to change over to that mindset.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
So you got to really teach them.
Yeah, now I'm the dancehall teacher. Yeah, but I must more patient. Yeah, make sure to tell them take your times and slowly and respect the culture and learn from the culture. Yes.
Excellent. How about you, DJ BL? Tell us about your China journey.
Well, it's hard to figure out where to start in that sort of regard, but I started off playing in punk bands in Florida. I was in Mongolia and came to Shanghai. Well, I don't know. That's the story. What the? You want the facts, Masia?
Lie to us.
It's jumped from Florida to Mongolia.
Okay, I mean that's a week. I could spend weeks there. I could tell that story. But I started off in Florida doing punk rock, and I was doing some DJing, and there wasn't much of a reggae ska scene there. Mongolia at the time there wasn't either. Back in South Florida, where I was working as a dancer, there was some more of those vibes. A lot of the reggae artists live in Miami. They all moved out of South Florida. Came to Shanghai and really discovered more of the scene here in terms of hip hop and the dancehall scene, Daga, Wolf, and you have of course the Far East Sound guys here, and we have Jado and Aho and people who have been featured before on here on the TMS video series. People should check those out and learn all about those. But
Plugs. We love the plugs.
yeah, but it's an interesting thing discovering the different subcultures and music here. And I'll just mention one aspect of it because there's a lot of different directions we can talk about. Is that I find that understanding the roots and culture, people like Bob Marley and Peter Tosh and artists in Jamaica to be essential. It's certainly very important, but it shouldn't also just be fetishized as being this sort of exotic thing. And what I mean by that is there's some super talented reggae artists here in China, like Kawa, Sky King Jack, and other ones here in China. We have in Singapore, the Singapore Dub Club, in Korea, NST and the Soul Sauce, Kingston Rudy Ska, Indonesia, I can go on and on and on. And you have these different groups based in the region, and I find in a lot of ways they don't necessarily communicate with each other. And I find that frustrating and difficult in a lot of different ways. They all kind of aim back at the source, or the West, or England, or US, or Jamaica, wherever it might be. And so, as a DJ and as someone who organizes things, I like to connect these things that are not necessarily connected really at the moment there. So, like in terms of DJing, like I want to pay respects to being in the place in the region. If you're a DJ and you're in Los Angeles or Kingston or New York or Toronto or Johannesburg or Tokyo or Shanghai, and your sets are all the same, I don't think that's really reflecting the place that you're at. I travel, I go to places, I want to meet these people. To me, like, I want to tell my story in that way. So if I play a Masia One track or a Denny Frust track or any of the artists that we've mentioned, if it's someone that I can talk about or connect with, it has a lot more of an emotional resonance to me than just picking out something from a torrent of top 10 dancehall tracks for the month or whatever. So I try to incorporate that into what I do.
But I think it's isn't it a little difficult for because not all DJs are as
Oh, he's one of a kind.
exactly.
He's one of a kind.
Not all
He's
DJs
one
are
of a
going
kind.
to different
He's a
places
man.
and like learning about the
Let's talk about this.
You know the shirt is extremely rare. This shirt is extremely rare.
Oh, we can talk about this.
Yeah,
we can talk about
rare.
it. As a DJ, I think a big part of the philosophy comes from my man Johnny Otis, who was a DJ in Los Angeles, and he had a record label called Dig. To me, digging is part of the DJ philosophy, which means you have to it's digging, and you gotta dig it. You gotta be hip.
Yeah.
So to me, like part of it is finding and searching, and not necessarily just grabbing. This is not digging. This is just picking it up.
Yeah.
You gotta dig. So I take big inspiration from people like Johnny S, who traveled around, in his case, the United States, finding artists and people like Little Esther Phillips, Big Mama Thornton, who's Johnny Otis and stuff too. So, yeah, like to me, that's just essential.
Well, let's jump back to Denny. So you actually have known Brian DJ BO for a few years now. You were telling us a while ago.
Around 3 or 4 years now.
Can you tell us how you guys met originally? Through Masia?
Masia.
Oh, the connection is here.
We want to have a tour, and then in Indonesia, and I set it up for BO tour. BO and Hayasen this time.
Hayasan, who's another part of the piece, who's just not here right now, who's a Japanese reggae producer and DJ from Nagoya, Japan.
Oh.
I put together a tour. Well, I met Masia. I discovered Masia's music in Kuala Lumpur. I always mention that. And then I DJ'd at a gig in Malaysia through the Unchained Sound guys in Guangzhou. At a gig in Guangzhou. So shout out to the Unchained crew based in Shenzhen, Daniel Powers.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. I'm trying to make sure I get all the names for him. So I made a trip out to Southeast China, Shenzhen, Guangzhou, because I wanted to meet Masia. So that was the first time we met right there.
Really?
I think that was the first time we
Crazy.
met.
I didn't even know that.
Definitely the first time I saw you perform, for sure.
Okay.
And Unchained, Daniel Powers, that crew, like they do a lot of great things in terms of bringing in artists. But I remember going out to that trip to do that. Hayasan was there. So Hayasan's Japanese DJ, who I work with a lot, and Denny helped us set up some gigs in the western part of Indonesia, Bandung, Jakarta. Yeah. And that was great. And just to kind of show all the connections, Denny helped us out for that. And then when the great Beijing punk band Gumbleed wanted to play Indonesia, was having some issues, and so D and his crew there, Denny Frust helped them out now, and now Gumbleed in Beijing helps out Denny Frust. This really comes from the DIY philosophy that he talked about. I mean, to me, like, this is really simple. It's in the Bible. You help your travelers. Like that. This is just the most essential thing. And like I said, the sort of territorial attitude, I don't really get. People got to move. People got to travel. You help them out. Like, to me, it's not even a consideration in terms of what can I get from this or what's the benefit or whatever. People are on the road, you help them out, you bring them out. Like that's just really what you do.
And Masia, how did you first meet Denny?
I'm actually.
I remember nothing.
I'll tell you, Masia. I'll tell you.
Tell me, Denny.
Masia met me when you want to meet Keiko, and Keiko took you to Jaksa.
Oh
so
man, that was awesome.
At those time, I just out from Monkey Boots, and I'm working as a singing waiter. So actually, singing waiter is like I'm as a waiter also, and also basking there. So after basking, everything is I'm the one who clean up and everything. So Masia come you come there with Keiko, and you see me singing, and then you ask Keiko, who is that guy?
His voice, who is that guy? So I remember this. So Yellow Sky Sound System is one of the early sound system crews out of Indonesia, out of Jakarta, and they came out to a festival, a Singapore dub club run festival I threw in Bintan, Indonesia. And so, when just about the connections thing, when I went out to Indonesia, I met up with them, they took me around, and we went to this place called Equal Park.
Equal Park, yeah.
What a beautiful name
Equal
for
Park.
a place, an Equal Park. And
I'm the one who served them
yes.
beer.
Yeah, so we ordered beer.
There's a great legacy.
Yeah. He came up, but then I realized, first of all, his voice caught me because there are voices that have a quality, a readiness to them that just cut through all noise and cut through all sound, and you have to look over. And so as soon as Denny started singing, I'm like, okay, who's that? And then I realized Denny had sang like the longest catalog of any song you could name. He just knew the songs and he was just going through all of them and always put his own style and his own spin on it. And that's how we met. And from there, I realized that Denny is also somebody like, sometimes I deal with a lot of artists. I being an artist myself, either as a collaborator or booking artist and all these things. And sometimes there's egos involved where, you have to consider that. And I mean, we all have egos, but then there's other artists that are very community-minded, that want to see something greater than themselves grow. And Denny definitely is one of those type of artists. And 100%. When we linked, I know anything that I could give, he's gonna give tenfold back. And that's how we kind of grew like this circuit. He came out to Singapore, I came out to regions of Indonesia I've never been to, and we just grew from there. And of course, with that, a friendship grows.
That's the most beautiful stuff. So, for example, there's an artist based in Shenzhen named SJ the Artisan, and he wanted to do a gig in Shanghai, and I wasn't available to do the gig exactly. And Maxim Q was like, I'll help him and put together the show, and they promoted the show together. And then I had no idea this was happening, that she was doing a show in Shenzhen with SJ the Artisan. So that's just how things grow and build, and I think that's the real lesson.
So the connection it grows and then it builds, you know. So
and becomes musical collaborations. We got
songs and it's natural. And it's natural.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And especially because now you seem like really great friends, And you're basically touring together. Is that how this is working, or no?
It was put together separately.
Oh, really?
I mean, I put together. We had booked so Trasher Go-Go June 22nd, Denny Frust, and we had him on the show, which I only got the connection because of Masia, like I said from the very beginning.
Yeah.
But then people were asking, there's a lot of DJs in town, like Maxim Q and other ones too. And they wanted to kind of get involved, and we really wanted to. Trasher Go-Go is more of the punk vibe, more of the rock and roll vibe, which ska is a part of, and ska punk in that aspect. But we wanted to pay tribute to more of the roots side too, which involves more of the sound clash culture and the sound system culture with DJs and stuff. And if you want that sort of vibe, Masia One is a murderer in that regard. And so we had a chance to do a show for that, which we're doing at Exit Club on June 21st. But then, because they've done duets, we could also have Masia be a guest at Denny Frust's show. So they're gonna do.
So it was booked separately, but you're still gonna collaborate.
We're still got it together.
Line up together. That's amazing. That's really great.
I mean, one of the collaborations we did together called One Away, produced by this producer in Australia called Jawais, but he has a Brazilian descent. And this collaboration randomly blew up in Brazil. So the most listenership and spins for this collaboration we did is in Brazil, you've never been to Brazil.
Never been.
I've never been to Brazil.
So let's go to Brazil.
Let's go.
The next chapter. Follow us.
We never know.
I'm just saying that's how the connections grow, and that's the beautiful part about being in music.
Yeah, that's amazing.
We never know. I never know also that now I'm here in Shanghai, baby.
Yeah, on your solo project too. It's really great.
Crazy, it's like beyond my expectation. It's beyond anything, it's crazy, yeah.
Your last album is called It's Alright.
Yeah,
So what was the inspiration behind that name? Like everything's okay.
It's like hitting by life, so you're like, wow. You have a chaotic life, but it's alright. That's the process.
Yeah, I think the key is the album cover. It's called It's Alright, but it's a picture of him bloodied and bruised.
A lot of bruise, a lot of blood, but you're still
here.
So it's alright. Yeah. Everything's in the process.
Wow. There's so a lot of things going on apparently, this weekend and coming up. Let's talk a little bit about Max and Q. What's going on with you? What is your next big event?
I will just follow the music, do some things, showcase to other guys, and I will play DJ too.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's super involved, and so what we've done for the show is we've paired her with Jack 45, who's an Afrobeat artist from Ghana living in Shanghai. And I was just like, you two guys go together, and so they're gonna work on performance, and I really respect their artistic integrity to do what they're going to do together. And she's also DJing as well, but that's going to be for the dance performance.
Are you doing more like the producing while he does like MC, or how does it work? You're going to do the MC and
for that she's going to be dancing.
Oh, you're going to dance.
She's also
okay.
So we're setting up 2 DJ booths for the show. She's going to be DJing on one of the DJ booths, and then with Jack 45, they're going to be on stage together dancing. She's dancing, and he's going to do his vocals.
Club.
So are you making like a dance routine together?
Yeah.
Wow.
And my flow is to just I'm to the MCs.
Oh,
It doesn't matter. Everyone will like it. The sultry voice.
Yeah, it's going to be good stuff. Yeah. I mean, like, to me, like, I like. There's I try not to be too much of a contrarian, but the idea with the show that we're doing is that it's ska, but ska kind of came together in the early 60s in Jamaica. It was part of the Jamaican independence movement. And it came out at the same time as the Beatles are coming out and Motown's coming out, and it's still based on R&B music. People like Johnny Otis, like I was pointing out to earlier. So it's got the same sort of roots and culture, and so we really want to explore that bit. People think Treasure Go-Go, it's got to be all punk rock or garage rock, but we're still talking about the same roots. We're still talking about different branches on the tree. So that's really kind of the vibe that we're going for, and it's great. Punk rock has always been a fan of reggae and dub. Artists like The Clash, we're super into that. We brought over to China Scratchy, who was The Clash's tour DJ, and he's done compilations for Trojan Records. So there's always been this sort of relationship between rock and roll and reggae dub, even if it may appear different. Peter Tosh, who Masia and I both love dearly, they covered Johnny Otis. He covered Chuck Berry with doing Johnny Be Good. So to me, like it's all the same spirit.
Yeah. Can you guys tell me about some of your like biggest influences as far as music is concerned?
Go ahead.
Go ahead,
Me?
Denny Frust.
Maybe a 70s soul, R&B. Actually it's not lately. My playlist is like Bill Withers, like Nina Simone. I listen to Aretha Franklin. I listen to Al Green. I listen to like 70s soul, Ronettes, and then Martin Vandellas. I listen to that kind of tunes. It's like a 70s, 60s soul. I listen to that kind of thing. I listen to Sade. I listen to everything actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Mostly I'm not listening to reggae actually. This kind of 3 or 4 years. I listen to 60s, 70s soul and R&B, a little bit jazz. So,
how about you, Masia?
I came into music because I found a bootleg Public Enemy tape. So, hip hop from that era, from Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul, of course, Lauryn Hill, Moni Love, that whole school of hip hop, going into Wu-Tang and Boot Camp Click and all that stuff. But then finding influence in Jamaica, and the thing I really loved about going to the dance hall there is, sure, you listen to like Vibes Cartel and Movado, and that was the era that I was in Jamaica. But they will do a mashup of like Celine Dion with Vibes Cartel, and it's the most unexpected thing. But it makes you really think about, on one hand, yes, you respect the stories of all these artists and the culture and understand about the individuals and the genre. But at the end of the day, when you can mash up Celine Dion with Vibes Cartel, you realize that it's so beautiful that two things can just come together just like that, So yeah, huge fan of so much music right across the board.
Amazing, amazing.
Ska's got a great legacy of that. Like if you listen to early ska records, they're incorporating Lucky Old Son, the Wash Wash.
Actually, from first time, I think they like a lot of cover song. They did.
My Boy Lollipop is a cover song.
Yeah, a lot of a lot of cover song actually.
Yeah.
Ska in the early beginning. After that became to Rocksteady, that's more original. After the Rocksteady era thing. So yeah.
But what I find really interesting about Indonesian ska and rocksteady is currently I would be hard pressed to think of new school artists coming out of Jamaica making ska music. I mean, you have the new school like reggae revival of the Proto J's, the Chronics, Kofi, but with ska music. Actually, there's new ska bands coming out of Indonesia, like teenagers playing it. But you don't see teenagers.
In Jamaica, they don't have it actually. Jamaica is now like
they created this thing, but now like I feel like Indonesia took the baton and just ran with it. So it's so interesting that it's not just cross genres, like cross cultures, then expressing their culture through this vehicle of music.
You know, like last time they say that ska music in Jamaica is like old people music.
Old people music.
So that's why the youth doesn't play
they don't
anymore.
Play that. Strictly dancehall.
No. And then it's like for me, it's like now it's like the lyric is not so good to listen also about sex, money, and everything, and drugs and everything. So I think it's like the music is changing from the pure about soul, about how you want to make people happy, how you want to make people have a good vibe and everything, positivity. It's lost its soul now. I think so.
At least in my conception, and people can disagree with me if I'm wrong, people would think Indonesia and Jamaica, very different sort of places, but talking about tropical island places,
we have
history of colonialism, like there's a lot of different connections there, that even if they're on the other sides of the hemisphere, talking about brown and black people making this really tropical, good vibes, spiritual music.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, we have the same common actually. We are an island country, you know. We have a lot of island. We have our root music. We have our traditional music. We have a percussion music also originated from Indonesia. So it's actually the same. And then now in Indonesia, actually, if you talk about Jamaican music that grew in Indonesia, is like it's huge. So Masia and Bo already traveled there. It's every island we have a reggae or Jamaican music band. It's a ska band. Yeah, Timor Reggae Family is like a
Timor Reggae Family,
like a far island in the east.
You said this shirt is rare.
Yeah,
right?
Rare. Only him and me. outside.
I took Bob Marley's granddaughter, Donisha Pendergast, to Indonesia. We celebrated at these islands called Gilis.
Gili, yeah.
And she couldn't believe that there were Bob Marley bars in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah,
Marley
like, bar, yeah.
Even out here, like grandfather has a bar, you know. So yeah, definitely.
That must have been really like emotional.
It was emotional for her, most definitely.
Yeah.
And I mean, people don't think about the ties between Singapore and Jamaica either, but you know, Sir Stanford Raffles, who was seen as the one of the founding fathers of Singapore, was born in Montego Bay. Lee Kuan Yew, post-colonial parliamentary system, went to Jamaica to learn from Michael Manley's system. So, I mean, music is really the human story, right? And there's always connections more than we think, and we're into making more connections. Like right now, I met Maxim Q. Oh, we're gonna do some bashments between China and Southeast Asia.
I wanted to bring up Maxim Q. What are your biggest influences as far as this kind of dance culture, Afrobeat culture? What kind of inspired you to kind of jump into this genre of what you're doing now, of the art that you're doing now?
I just dancer before, so my friends always some guys do art, different style of art. The DJs, band. My brother is the drummer. Yeah,
Which
yeah,
band?
Just a rock and roll. Yeah, just a rock.
Just rock and roll.
Just rock and roll. Yeah.
Look that one up. Just rock
and roll.
Did you grow up in Shanghai?
Yeah.
Cool.
And then I like music, different style music, R&B, souls, and normal piano. And after that, I like something natural. Yeah, the dancehall that style is so natural for me. Yeah, just not a one person dance. It's a group. It's all the guys dancing in the music and enjoy the life together. So this things attract me to learn it more and more. And then after that, I just come to Shanghai, and I know Jado when I'm a little girl, just 14 years old. I see the Vice Lions showcase, yeah, and then it attached my heart. So then he tell me you should learn the DJ. Why you don't learn the DJ? You know the dancehall culture. Why you can put it connect with your things. Yes, then I go to learn the DJ, and now I can use my skills to organize the party and dance to promote my love culture.
You get those 2 a.m., 3 a.m. calls from Jado.
Yeah.
He's very famous for 3
Yeah.
a.m. Jado calls. He's like, we're talking now. It's like, okay. Like this is famous. This is not just a one-time thing. You never know when you're getting a call from Jado, who, as part of Far East Line, is really a pillar of Shanghai reggae dancehall culture.
Well, I mean, it feels like everyone here is very inspired by the style of music. Of course, originating in like Jamaican style. I say let's try some suka suka sauce, huh?
You want to try some? No?
Yeah, let's try some. Let's try some on camera.
Do you want sombrero?
No.
This one. Oh, here with the mask.
Give her the yellow one.
What's this?
And the yellow.
Oh, nachos. Nachos.
We're gonna use the big one.
Garlic, onions, chili.
If you want to.
We didn't make it as spicy as I would usually like it, but it's because our first customers were expats in Singapore, so we couldn't make it too spicy.
Too spicy.
Because the people living from the UK or America
Cannot eat spicy.
Yeah.
My guess.
All right, let's try.
That's right.
I think you need two to like shovel it on.
Good.
Yeah.
But we are launching it on Sunday right here where we're at Tacolicious.
Oh,
June
Fingers
23rd.
crossed.
yeah.
People love it.
Yeah.
And we find a way to distribute it here to Shanghai and to China.